BREE. Welcome back to my channel. As y'all can see by the title, today is gonna be a story time. Some of you know, some of you may not know, I am a dental assistant. I actually filmed a video, a day in the life of a dental assistant, a couple of videos ago, and I briefly talk about the story time that I'm about to say in this video. The reason that I am going to tell the story time is because after that video I had some people, you know, come to me and ask me a few questions about it, and I don't know, I just want to make this video to not discourage anyone that's gonna be becoming a dental assistant, but kind of like have you ready, or kind of tell you my story of what I went through and what to look for, and you know, how to handle situations better than I did. So this story time is basically going to be why I quit my job as dental assistant. Okay, in my phone I have like a little timeline that I'm gonna go by because it's a lot of stuff happened. I don't want to miss anything. I'm pretty sure I did miss some stuff on this little timeline, but I'm pretty sure as I get to talking about what happened, I'll remember. Okay, I'm gonna start with like the whole start of me getting the job and everything. So all of this kind of starts around last year, May of 2021. So May of 2021, it was getting close to graduation and everybody was kind of finding them jobs. So I was kind of like giving my resumes to anybody in my city, basically all of the dental clinics in my city, really just trying to get a job because I wanted to work right after I graduated. At that time I was working a fast food job and I was really desperate to you know, get away from that because I had been working there for 2 years and I felt like fast food wasn't for me. It honestly was just something to do, and I was just desperate for a job. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, which was dental assisting. There was a point where I was giving everybody a resume. Even though I was giving my resume to everybody, I was still looking on the website, seeing like whom I was gonna work with, who's the doctor there. Sometimes the website has like the assistants on there, so I'm looking like who's the doctor, who's the assistant. There's one time where I was giving my resumes to, I had like a list on my phone where I was giving my, like checking out where I've been and where I need to go. So it was this one place that I needed to go. I looked on the website, I saw the dentist, female. I felt like I come to the office. The office was very diverse and there was a lot of good feedback that can be like, I don't know, when you're looking at jobs and stuff like that, I feel like you shouldn't trust that. I don't know, you gotta get your own whatever. But anyway, so I looked on the website. I didn't see anything negative, so I went in, I gave them my resume, and the hygienist actually came out to me. She was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, hey, I'm Brianna, I'm giving my resume, you know what you say, whatever. So she was like, okay, sit down. So that was kind of weird to me because actually, well, at that point it wasn't weird because I'm thinking like, oh, what this mean? This mean I'm finna get the job? Like, what that mean? So she was like, sit down, the doctor may want to talk to you. So she gave me my resume, and then after a while the doctor wanted to talk to me. So I saw her, she looked nice, very presentable, and we did the interview the same day. Red flag, but me not knowing, because I'm desperate for a job. I'm like, oh, this means something, like this just means something. Girl, it mean a red flag. So basically it was a red flag. So during the interview we're just going over like stuff, blah 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 blah. So she was basically like, she was telling me my pay and stuff, and then another red flag, my pay. I was going to be making less than I made at the fast food restaurant, but me, like I said, I was desperate. I'm like, it don't matter. And she said that I would get a raise after 3 months. So I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna get a raise after 3 months, da, 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 da. So I should be good. No, I wasn't good. But me, I'm really just, everything she's saying to me, I'm just putting in one ear, taking out the other. And then like, yeah, a couple days go by. Actually, it's my graduation rehearsal. I was in the middle of graduation rehearsal. She called me, she was like, hey, I think it's gonna work out, just come in this and this day, and She was like, just come in this day and we'll do like a working interview. And I'm like excited, like, I got a job. Yeah, I got a job. Desperate. So it's just a lot of stuff that I should have asked before, you know, taking the offer. Look at many more options or whatever, but I want to go with the first thing that came with me. So I would say don't ever like go with the first thing that comes to you. Try to, you know, reach out, look at other stuff before you just make your decision, because this is where you're gonna work. So, and then another red flag, she was like, can you come in? I remember when she was like, can you come in? It was like very soon, like tomorrow. Mind you, I was still working at my fast food job, so I was telling her like, hey, I'm still working at the other jobs, so I can't come in. Like, I told her, I was like, can you give me 2 weeks so I can put in my 2 weeks notice or whatever? She was like, yeah, but could you start, like, it was like the second week. So basically that second week that I'm supposed to be, you know, the end of my 2 weeks, I worked 2 jobs. I worked at Whataburger and I worked at the dental company. All right, so fast forward, all that happened, a week go by and I start my first day at the dental clinic. Well, she told me that the first couple of days I would be shadowing and watching, you know, just kind of get the feel of how everything. I thought like my first couple of days was gonna be cool, I'm just gonna be watching or whatever. So no, that's not what I was doing. So the first day, I don't actually remember the first day. I want to say, I don't know, but I remember walking in, I was greeted by a hygienist. The hygienist was very sweet and everything. So she was kind of like briefly telling me like where everything is, not like in the rooms. Key idea. What, this is something that you need to remember. She like, we didn't go through the rooms and say like, this is here, this is here. She was basically showing me like, this is the hygiene room, this is the assisting rooms, this is the sterile, these are the bathrooms, and this is the break room, stuff like that or whatever. So as the day goes by, I feel like I kind of watched for a couple hours, and then after that I was like thrown right in. She was like, I want to see you, how you work or whatever. And so mind you, the hygienist, she's been working there for a while. She actually assisted before she came in hygienist, so she basically set everything up for me. Mind you, this is like my second or third day. The hygienist set everything up for me. I don't know where anything is. I'm just going into the room thinking everything is how it needs to be or whatever. So we get in the room. I've done extractions before, so I'm thinking like, hey, I know what I'm doing, this is the easiest thing or whatever. So I get in there. Mind you, in the extraction you need a surgical suction. As we began to pull this person's tooth, I noticed there was no surgical suction. I just used what I had because, mind you, I don't know where anything is. I did not set up the room. So I didn't set up the room. I'm just using what I have, and it's doing the best it can. She was just looking at me like, and I'm looking like, and so she ends up getting the surgical suction or whatever, and then I think something drops on the floor. So mind you, this is a dental clinic. We're all about HIPAA, OSHA, whatever violations. So basically what that means is you just keep everything clean just because you're in somebody's mouth, so anything can be passed around. I think like the suction had fell or something, and so when the suction fell, I'm trying my best to like, I'm like, you need to hurry up. So I reached down. I still have my glove on, but obviously I'm gonna take the glove off and put on new glove. So the suction falls, I grab it. I'm getting ready to take my glove off. The patient is still on the little in the chair. She looks at me, she said, no, she was like, you just gonna pick it up off the floor? And I was like, I'm gonna, I forgot what I said. I don't even think I said anything because the patient is right here. We shouldn't be like talking like that over the patient. So I'm like, I forgot what I said, but I just looked at her. And she was like, and you gonna keep them gloves, them same gloves on? Something along the lines. And so kind of like an embarrassment. So I felt like the patient was like, oh, she don't know what she's doing or whatever. So my heart is racing. I'm like, oh my God, did I mess up? Like, that's what we was taught in school. I mean, I was gonna pick it up, take my gloves off, put everything new on. Like, I don't know. I didn't get what she was trying to tell me to do. But anyways, that happened. Eventually we get everything right, and the patient leaves, and she pulls me not to the side, but the hygienist and the other assistant was in there, and she tells me, she was like, do you like, y'all, the way that she was talking to me, you would have, I don't know, but she was like, do you know that you use a surgical suction for extraction? I was like, yeah, but I don't know. And she cut me off right there, and she was like, I usually don't like for nobody to talk, just say yes ma'am and keep it going. And I was just like, huh? Mind you, this is my second or third day there. I'm like, why is she talking to me like this? I thought we were all grown here. So she was like, yeah, just say yes ma'am, keep it going. So I'm like, what the hell? But I'm like, first of all, okay, mind you, I didn't set up the room. I don't know where anything is. So I'm just looking like, and they just looking like, so I'm like, y'all just be letting her talk to y'all like that, or this is how it's gonna be? And so the hygienist, she's like, yeah, she's a little like feisty. I'm like, so me, in my head, I'm already thinking like, I don't know if I like this job, but it's like, it's my third day here. I don't want to, like, I want to have, I know this is not where I want to work at, but I still want to go somewhere else where I'm able to use this as like experience on my resume. Okay, so in the whole clinic, before, not including me, there's one assistant and one hygienist. There was another assistant, but she was like part-time, so she only was there 2 days a week. There's 2 assisting rooms and 1 hygienist room. So basically, the hygienist that was already there, that's like full-time, she was going on vacation. That's the whole reason why she needed another assistant instead of getting like a temporary one. So basically, I feel like she was looking for the first person that was coming out. She knew that I was just not graduating and everything else. So basically, when I came there, she's like, hey, you're gonna have to pick up on stuff fast because we're gonna need somebody. It was only gonna be me there. So I'm like, what? Why are you trying to get somebody new and it's only gonna be that new person there? You should, you feel me? So she was like, that's why I was trying to get you to come in those 2 weeks so you kind of learn why she's here. Da, da, da. So I'm like, something not adding up. Like, this is weird. So basically, I was thrown into the wolves, and I'm trying to like learn everything or whatever. And basically, every time I went to work, I was on my toes. Like, I was beating myself up because every time she would always like make it seem like I'm just doing something completely wrong. Like, they didn't teach us anything at school. So and there was a time where we were setting up in the room, and I'm thinking, obviously, I'm thinking like, I know what I'm doing. So we set up for a feeling. A feeling is the most basic thing you can do in a general clinic. So I set out what I thought you needed for a feeling. Obviously, it wasn't right. I don't know. Sometimes you don't know exactly how much you need for a feeling. So I was told to always get extra, so you weren't going back and forth getting stuff, because when you're working in somebody's mouth, your hands are automatically dirty, so there's no reaching back in drawers getting stuff. So I got like extra stuff so I wouldn't have to. So she came in there, she was like, why do we have all these gauze? And I was like, I'm just looking at her. Most of the time when she's yelling at me, I'm just looking at her crazy because why are you yelling at me? So she was like, she was looking at how many fillings. She was like, she basically count out exactly how many gauze we're gonna need. And I don't remember how it was, but I was just like, I couldn't do it. Like, I was just stressed out. So fast forward, it was probably like a couple weeks that the girl, I think it was like a week where the other assistant was gone, and she finally came back. So I'm thinking like, ooh, this is gonna be like a load off of me, the girl coming back. I'm like, you feel me? I'm like, we get some help. It's not gonna be like crazy no more. So tell me why the girl came in. I'm gonna call the girl V. Actually, I don't know if I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna say V. So the V comes in and she just walks right past me. She put her stuff up. She ain't introduced herself. Hey, I'm V, I'm the assistant. So there was another break. I'm like, dang, like, you ain't gonna speak? I don't know you. So she wasn't trying to tell me what stuff was and all that. So I'm just like, okay, if it's gonna be like that, it's gonna be like that. So eventually it came to a point where a couple days went by and I felt like I had been doing most of the production. Production is like fillings, root canals, just like stuff like that, and she was doing more of like the getting new patients in, taking x-rays, taking pictures and stuff. So I felt kind of overwhelmed. So I'm thinking, like, since you're here now and I've been here for a couple weeks, I'm knowing what I'm doing, I'm getting the hang of things, it's your turn to jump in and kind of like help me or whatever. I asked her, I said, hey V, well, I did a couple of these. Do you think you can do the next, probably was like a crown or something. I was like, can you do the next filling, and can I do the new patient just to like give me a breather? You know what V said? V said, well, what she said was, well, the doctor told me to only do the new patient and for you to do all of the production, because I already know how to do it. You need to learn how to do it or whatever. Mind you, later on I found out that the doctor didn't even say that, she was lying. So to put BIE is a liar. Basically, I was getting overwhelmed doing all the stuff or whatever. So then there was an incident where this Friday, it was a Friday, we get off work kind of early on Fridays, everybody's ready to go home, and I was the last person to get done with the patient, and that was an extraction or whatever. So as I'm getting done, everybody's already kind of like ready to go or whatever. So as I'm getting done, I'm gonna put my insurance away, washing them off, about to, you know, put them in the shaker and the autoclave, and I can wait for them because I mean it's nothing. So actually I think V had to wait on me because she has a key, I don't, so she has to wait on me to get done. Mind you, I'm not thinking it off. So she tells me, hey, you can leave these things in the sink and we can just get it on Monday. So I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I always do this, or yeah, we can just leave it on Monday or whatever. Mind you, the doctor is still in the office while we're leaving. So I'm like, okay, that's cool, I can just leave it in here, we'll get it on Monday, pick up our stuff, and we left. So I'm at the store and I get like a group message, and the doctor, she sent us some pictures of the instruments that I left in the sink, and she's like, I know we have some new people here, but she said new people, but I was on a new person. She was like, but we don't leave things in the sink, this is unnecessary, this is a violation, everyone should already know this and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. So I'm like, I don't remember if I said anything in the group chat, but I kind of just forgot about it. But then on Monday we came back to work, and she's like, she was gonna have a conversation with me. So she put me in the office. First of all, she did not close the door, everybody in the office can hear. So she was like asking me like, did y'all go over like HIPAA and OSHA guidelines in school? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, I'm just gonna go back over with you because we don't leave stuff in the sink, we don't leave needles and bloody instruments in the sink and stuff like that. I was like, well, from my knowledge, V said that V told me to just leave it and she would just get it on Monday. I'm thinking that's something that she normally does. She said, well, V told me she didn't know anything about it. So now I'm like, this girl is lying on me. So that was the first little lie that V had told on me. And so I kind of just like, I told like my other coworkers and stuff, 'cause we were cool, but I kind of just like, I felt like if she lied about that, she lied about anything. So anyways, I guess like now in my thoughts, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm still making the same amount that she said. At this point it's about 3 months now, and I'm just like, I'm really just tired of everything. I'm literally just going to work just to work. I really don't talk to anybody. I'm talking to the girls up front because I feel like I'm kind of close with them, but it was just a lot of stuff going on. I felt really drained. Out of all this time, I'm still doing all the production, and V is just taking pictures and x-rays and getting off work early and coming in with shorts. Also, when after she came back to work, there was a few, like, I felt like every Friday she would miss work, but she wouldn't call off. She would either make up a lie or just don't say anything until somebody calls her. So it was one Friday where her sister-in-law having contractions or something. That has nothing to do with you. She didn't go in labor or anything, I don't think. And then like the next Friday after that, she had said that mind you, all this is on Friday. So I mean, if you're gonna lie, make sure it's like not every single Friday, but you know, anyways. So the next Friday, she claimed that she had fell down the stairs, and she also had called the doctor and asked the doctor what was the number for 911. Now at this point, you just told on yourself, because what do you mean what's the number for that? She tried to like make it seem like in the act of her falling, she was trying to call off work, and I mean, she was calling the doctor. I don't know what she was trying to do, but that next morning, she did not come in for work, and I guess she thought that I was gonna put two and two together. Oh, I failed, I ain't coming to work. So eventually she came to work next Monday. We asked her like, hey, what happened? She was like, the doctor just told me to take some antibiotics. Stuff is not adding up. I don't see any scratches, and she would try to like kind of like limp a little bit, so it looks like something's wrong with her. But if you paid attention, sometimes she forgot to limp. So it was one day where mind you, I'm still doing a production, but it was like production at the same time, so she had to get something. So she got some production, and I had got done at the same time, and no, she was about to have to do one, and she was like, she asked me, she was like, can you do the crown or whatever, because my legs started hurting. I looked at her and said, no, I just got done doing a root canal. And she was like, okay, and was walking fine. Girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. So as y'all can see, the routine of V is she's a liar. I feel like something was wrong with her head. The girl was 25 years old, but acted like she was a 10-year-old. So first of all, that irked me too, because I felt like I'm 19 years old, y'all, at this time. I'm thinking like, girl, you supposed to be older than me, you know, why you acting like this? And yes, basically she was a little off, if I could say. So basically, when the little thing now was, if there was production, if I had just got done with something and it was her turn to get some production, she would go into the bathroom. So I'm the only person there, so I have to do it. I can't go anywhere. So she done that for a few times before I just say, hey, this is enough, because I'm tired of this. So eventually the word did get around to the doctor, because everybody was seeing the same thing I was seeing, because I thought I was crazy, y'all. I promise you. I came home, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I think this girl's trying to like get over on me. Like, I feel like I'm doing most of the stuff. Mom was like, you just a new girl, you gotta keep, you know, get the feel of things. And I was just like, I don't know. But after a while, she kept doing the same thing, and everybody caught on. It was like, hey, don't let her do that to you, you know, like say something or whatever. But it's like, I would say something, but the girl, she will manipulate and say whatever she wants to the doctor, and she would never get anything said to her. Not to my knowledge. I never saw anything being said to her. But so she would end up going to the bathroom all the time, so I ended up having to do a prediction. And it was really just back and forth with her. Like, I did not like the girl. I didn't talk to her. She was weird, like really weird. Like, I couldn't. It would be mornings where she would get there and be the only one there, and I didn't have a key yet. I would knock on the door, and I would bang on the door, and she would not open the door at all. And I wasn't about to get her number because I didn't want anything associated with her outside of work. So I was just called the doctor and told her like, hey, I'm outside, can you tell V to come open the door? The girl would not open the door, and she would act like she did not hear it. And she also used to steal hours. So basically, at the end of the day, I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna sit and wait on nobody to do anything. You know, stuff has to be done before everybody leaves. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. So I would just run circles around her and do every single thing, because I'm not gonna wait on you. I'm ready to go home. So it will be times where everybody's leaving and V is the only one still in the office. She had a key, so everybody would leave her, even the doctor would leave her, and she would just basically she would just be stealing hours. That's what she would be doing, and the doctor never said anything. He was like, "Oh, V still working. Just V, just let me know when you get done." The girl was stealing hours. Obviously, there's nothing to be done. All the sterile, everything was clean. Why are you staying here while everybody's ready to go home? So back to working with the doctor. So basically, I'm just having, if you don't know in the dental field, basically you have to kind of learn the doctor and kind of learn what the doctor wants next and have it in your hand already, so they won't have to call or just stuff like that. So basically I was learning that kind of or whatever. So I would have stuff in my hand and I would give it to the doctor, and she would kind of just like snatch it out of my hand, throw it over and get what she wants, instead of saying, "Hey, let's get this or whatever." So stuff like that kind of used to piss me off, because why are you snatching? There's other ways to say, "Hey, can I have this?" Da, 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 da. So stuff like that was happening. She also there were no like assistant chairs, so anything, mind you, I'm doing a lot of production. So if I'm doing production, hour long procedures, I'm standing up the whole day. I'm standing up the whole day. I'm not sitting there. I'm standing up the whole day. The first couple weeks, I'm like, my feet are killing me. Like, what am I gonna do? My back is hurting because I'm bent down over the patient like this. And it's just like, I don't know. I kept telling myself, I don't know if I can do this. But in my head, I'm like, I have to wait till at least like 5 or 6 months to leave, because I want to have something on my resume. I can't just leave, you know, and don't have anything to back me up to find a new job or whatever. So also the scheduling, not scheduling, but the hours were kind of weird. So we were 4 days a week and off like in the middle of the week. And one of the days of the week we would have like a really like a long day. So basically we would work from like 9 to 7 or whatever. So there was this time where we had an extraction like at the end of the day at like 6 o'clock. I didn't end up going home until like 9 o'clock because there were some things going on with the extraction. She couldn't get the tooth out, so I had to stay there till 9 o'clock. I was like, why? I don't think V ever stayed there past the time to get off. So that was another thing that I was like, no, I can't do this. And another thing was that any other time that like a patient needed to come in early or whatever, she would ask me every time, could you come in early? Could you, on the long days, it's usually on the long day, can you come in? We usually start about 9. She would ask me, can I come in probably like 7 or 8? And I still get off at 7. I'm not leaving early, but she would never ask V. I don't know why, but anyways, so moving on, I'm working. People are asking me how I like the job. I don't know what to say, so I'm just like, I don't know, I think I just gotta get used to it. That's why I kept telling myself in my head, but I was just delusional. You know you don't like the job. So I'm still going along or whatever. So basically we were doing something, a feeling, and she asked for something and I did not recall what it was. So she was like, give me the something, whatever the name was. And I was just like, so after we, like I said, like what happened with the extraction, after the patient had got up, she was like, do you not know your not instruments but your products? And she was like, we're gonna have to go through everything in this box because I don't think you know your stuff or whatever. So I'm looking at her, I'm like, you said, basically what she was doing is calling out the brand instead of what the product actually was. So say for instance, toothpaste, you know there's different brands of toothpaste. She was saying, give me the Crest instead of just saying, give me the toothpaste. So I'm just like, there's different brands, so the brands could be different. Everybody used to different brands. When I was on my clinicals, they used different brands. So I think it was like the composite, but she was saying whatever brand the composite was. So I was like, So me not knowing my products, so what she made up in her head was, okay, since she don't know her products, she got a text and she was like, okay, I'm gonna make a test and we're gonna go over some stuff before you get your raise. Now I gotta take a test before I get my raise, but you said 3 months I get my raise. And so I'm just like, oh my goodness. So I end up doing the test and it's just a bunch of bull crap. I'm just like, anyway, that goes by, and eventually I catch on to the product that she uses, still no raise. And it was like, as I'm going by, I am progressing because she's not yelling as much as she was. So I know I'm progressing, but she's making me feel so bad because she would never tell me like, hey, you kind of catching on to this, you doing this. She would always tell me every little thing that I was doing wrong. So it kind of like put me down. Like, I used to dread going into work. And actually, it's this song by the Now Ego that I cannot listen to because I put in my head if I listen to that song, I would get bad look. Like, I promise you, every time I listen to that song, I would have a bad day at work. And it was times, I don't know, y'all know, like, songs just make you think of like what moment you were in or what you were doing. But I remember I would listen to that song and I had a bad day and I kind of like, I can't listen to it. So anyways, I never did get the raise. All that stuff is going on. Everybody's catching on to be, everybody, even the girls up front, the hygienists, they're telling her like, B is kind of like moving away from the work. She's not really doing that. She's piling all stuff on BREE or whatever. I don't remember her pulling B to the side. When we told her stuff, she would make a group huddle talking about it. But at the same time, why are we having a group huddle and you talking to one particular person? You need to get that person out and have one-on-one like you do with me all the time. So I felt like I was getting treated different than, you know, the other girl when she was doing all the stuff wrong. So every time I would do something wrong, she would call me out, no matter who was in front of the patient. But when V, there was a problem where when B, she would gather us all up and just say stuff like in general. So I felt like that was weird. And so eventually I'm fed up. Somebody's gonna get fed up with working their butt off, not getting paid, because I'm working like I got 5 kids, but I'm getting paid. The pay ain't adding up. So I'm just like, I'm getting fed up. So eventually I'm just gonna find a job and whatever it is. I've been working, I think I worked there for like it was about to be like 5 months. I still didn't get a raise. No, it was about to be like 6 months, I think. I still didn't get a raise, and I'm just like, I really can't do this. Like, and there was a lot of kind of like manipulation going on. I feel like she thought she was gonna manipulate me because I was young, and she thought she was gonna give me just what she wanted because she felt like I didn't have no bills or whatever. Which honestly, you don't know what people have, so I feel like you can't do that. Don't like make broken promises that you can't keep. She told me that when I first started working the job, she told me that she gave out insurance if I wanted it, and when she kind of like forced me to get the COVID vaccine. And when I was asking her about it, I was like, I thought you had to have insurance. So I was like, hey, do you give insurance? And she was like, no, I don't, but in the beginning you told me because if you wanted to or whatever. So y'all, kind of like keeping all this stuff in my head because I know that I'm getting ready to leave. So I finally find me something. I get an interview and they tell me, hey, you got a job. I sent her my 2 weeks notice and she's so shocked. Oh my gosh, Bree, you are doing so good. What's wrong? I was just gonna give you a raise and da da da. So I'm just like, I was looking at her like, this is bullcrap. Like, what? So then eventually it's like my 2 weeks I'm about to leave. She did like a leave interview. So basically asking me like, why do you want to leave? Is there anything we can improve on? Honestly, I felt like at that moment I should have told her about herself because she was some of the reason that I wanted to leave too. But I just told her like, hey, I feel like I'm drained. I feel like B isn't doing nothing. I can't even think straight when I go home. I have work to do. I don't do my work. I'm falling behind. I can't even do stuff outside of work just because when I'm at home, I just want to go to sleep. So she was just like, really? Oh my gosh, you should have said something. You need to start speaking up and da, da, da. I'm like, girl, not only have I said something, but everybody in this clinic said something to you. But you know, V can't do nothing wrong. So it's just like, V can't do anything wrong. So mind you, now that I'm leaving, is, oh, you're gonna get a raise, da 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 da. And she was like, honestly, I felt like she was in my business, because she was asking like, oh, how much is your new job giving you, and da da da. And it was way more than I was making there. Like, started off like, girls, you crazy. And they were giving me insurance. She was like, is it the pay that's making you want to leave? I'm like, yeah, I'm working here 5 months. You told me I was gonna get a raise, and I haven't got a raise. She was like, I was just about to give you a raise and this and that. I'm just like, girl, she was like, do you ever think you would come back? Or I'm like, no, I'm not coming back. Y'all got me messed up, working me like a dog and ain't paying me nothing and treating me like, I promise y'all, I would just cry or either hold back my tears, because I felt like I was getting played. If y'all knew how I feel after work, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't work out, I couldn't do my work. I just wanted to go to sleep. I didn't want to think about work. I would dread coming to work. I feel like I missed a couple things in the story. If this story time is all over the place, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't tell no story worth nothing. So I hope y'all kind of piecing 2 and 2 together. If you have any questions or something not adding up, please say it in the comment. I will make a whole nother video kind of addressing the situation and, you know, just like key points, stuff like that. So if y'all have any questions, please put them down below in the comment section, because I feel like the story time is all over the place. So basically the reason why I left that job because I was being underpaid, working like a slave, and getting treated like junk. Anyways, I felt like I left a couple things out the story, but I told the story as best as I can. I hope y'all like the story. I hope y'all have questions, because I'm here to answer. I'll make a whole video, or I'll just, you know, if y'all text me on Instagram, have me any questions, I will answer them. So that's the end of this story time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope this kind of answered y'all questions about me and my job. I no longer work there no more. I did like a couple months. I am now orthodontist assistant. I do not work in a general clinic anymore, and I like my job. So I'm still a dental assistant. So yes. Okay, y'all, this is the end of the story. If y'all want a story time, have any questions, please let me know, and I will see y'all in the next video.